Hey guys, if you couldn't figure out, today we're going to be talking about Disney's scariest rides. We will be taking 5 of the scariest Disney rides and ranking them from least to most terrifying. So, without further ado, let's get into our first ride. The thing that differentiates It's a Small World from some of the other rides on this list is that it isn't inherently scary. It is actually intended to be a kid's ride. But for some, that's what makes it so scary. The smiling dolls, the never-ending song, just the fakeness of it all. And, for a while, if you looked up to your left in the finale scene of the ride, you would see a doll in a hot air balloon holding a sign with red lettering that said simply, "Help." However, I personally don't find this that scary, and actually quite like the song. So, for It's a Small World, I give it a 7.5 out of 10. I mean, they also have Charlie Brown, too. Although its California counterpart exists no longer, Walt Disney World's Twilight Tower of Terror is definitely a classic when you're talking about Disney's scariest rides. The ride itself is set in an, for the most part, abandoned 1939 Hollywood hotel. This makes for a pretty eerie and suspenseful queue, which I guess if you're trying to find the scariest Disney ride is good. However, probably a lot of the scariness that comes from this ride is due to the anticipation of, falling down an elevator shaft. It is for that reason only that the ride itself isn't actually that scary that I give the Twilight Tower of Terror a 6 out of 10 on the scariness scale. Being located in a land full of kid-friendly, fun rides, Snow White's Scary Adventures feels almost out of place. And, although this video that you're watching was shot in 1990 at the original Magic Kingdom version of this ride, I think it's safe to say that this ride definitely should go down in history as one of the scariest rides that Disney has ever created. If you think that's a bit of a bold statement for a kid's ride, just watch. The ride was so scary that it had to be closed at Magic Kingdom and toned down at the other parks where it still is today. This just goes to show how scary this ride is. And so, I give Snow White's Scary Adventures an 8.5 on the scariness scale. For this next one, we stay in Fantasyland to go to a ride you may not have thought would be on this list. In my opinion, it's clearly one of the most, if not the most terrifying rides in theme park history. If you were scared by the Small World dolls, well, hate to break it to you, this ride is not for you. Featuring ghosts, donkey people, and even creepy carnivals. It is for these reasons, and many more, that I give Pinocchio's Daring Journey a solid 2 out of 10. Guys, we made it. Let's now move on to number 1. Coming in at first place, we have the Finding Nemo submarines. Okay guys, I was just kidding. The Finding Nemo subs aren't actually that scary. Well, they're not as scary as some of these other rides. Coming in at actual first place, we have a ride that I'm sure most of you probably expected. The ride I'm talking about is the Haunted Mansion. Now, just because it's scary doesn't mean it's not good. In my opinion, the Haunted Mansion is one of, if not the best rides at the Disney parks. Tied for first, of course, with Pirates of the Caribbean. However, this ride also has some scary stories, such as the 46-year disappearance of the Hatbox Ghost, or the hole in the glass in the ballroom scene that was covered by a spider. That's the reason that I and so many other people love this ride. It's because not only is it spooky, but it's also still fun. So, I give the Haunted Mansion a 9 out of 10 on the scariness scale. In conclusion, I really don't think that there are scary rides at Disneyland. All 5 of these are really great rides, and if you have the chance, you should try and ride them. I always just think it's cool to look at Disneyland from a different perspective, so that's why I made this video. I hope you enjoyed this spooky video. Make sure to comment, like, subscribe. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.